Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and being a producer of Wrestle Massacre as well as Inside Movies Galore, I am David Streggy, and welcome to Delusions of Grandeur. Enjoy the reviews. I certainly did.
Okay, Dave, that's it. Screw you and your college flunkies. I've had enough of this from you and from everyone else. I know what you guys are trying to do. Break me down, drive me out of the force. Well, it's going to take a hell of a lot more than a lame prank like this to get Curtis Mooney to throw in his badge, so fuck you. Over.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Delusions of Grandeur. I'm your host, David Streggy, and here I have another collection video for What's in My Room. And this will be episode number 16. I have several stacks of movies that have been sitting next to me, to my desk, the entire time while I was going on about underground Gore electors, films. And I have to go through them so that I can put them in boxes and start putting some of these boxes back in my room. So that I have out in the kitchen. My wife is getting frantic about having it in the kitchen. So in any case, so the first film that I have here to talk about that is in my collection is called I Corrupt All Cops. And it is distributed by Bonsai Films. And according to this, it says that it is the best Wong Jin film in years. And it stars Tony Leung, Anthony Wong, and Alex Wong. So it is 1960s Hong Kong in the land of corruption, the land of no opportunity, if you are not either a cop or a criminal. It is a world where good and bad is basically a result of no clear black and white. Rules were made to be broken, and at the end of the day, the real sufferers are the people of Hong Kong. In came the ICAC, and their attempts to crack down on corruption is not without difficulty, and in this case, they are dealing with life and death situations. So it does have subtitles in English, I do believe, and I do still have to watch this film, but it has not entirely been opened. But there you have it. I Corrupt All Cops. So, in any case, moving on to originally I had the 2-disc edition of this film, but I love this film for many, many reasons. And I love Russell Crowe in it. And it is directed by Ridley Scott. This is the extended edition of Gladiator. It was Academy Award winner 2000 Best Picture and Best Actor. So, are you not entertained? So, Disc 1 has the all-new widescreen extended edition of the film, including 17 minutes of additional footage. Theatrical version is seen during the filming's original release, and an introduction to the extended edition by Ridley Scott. So yeah, the second disc has the documentary, and the third disc has some of the supplement stuff. So um, here, I'll show you this cool edition. If you don't have it, definitely get it. Do not upgrade the Blu-ray because the Blu-ray does not have all this cool stuff. So I love DVD. I don't see a difference between DVD and Blu-ray really all that much. But if I do collect Blu-ray, I do collect Blu-ray combos. Now I don't necessarily have a Blu-ray player except in my Xbox back there. So other than that, I use my fiance's Blu-ray in that sense, so that I don't fully go too far into the Blu-ray universe. I refuse to. In any case, this was one of my first Blu-rays that I accepted, and I think I bought this um, from Brad Twigg once upon a time, and it was in his collection. It's called Pigpen, the limited edition Blu-ray. It is signed, and only 50 of these were made. I have number 11. 11 out of 50, if you can see that 11. I'm not sure if you can. There we go. Now you can see it. And originally, this was with Direwit Films. It is directed by Jason Koch, and it says here on the back, forced to fend for himself on the streets. 13-year-old Zach has just been pushed out of his dysfunctional home by Wayne and his mother's sadistic boyfriend. When the two are brought back together by a murder, only one will survive this tale of revenge. Experiences the depths of despair this young runaway must endure just to make things right. From Jason Koch, director of Seventh Day, and writer Mark Leake of Mutantis. This is Pigpen. So that's what the cover looks like. It says limited edition. So a runaway returns for revenge is the tagline. Next I have the limited edition, the uncensored director's cut DVD of Headless. This is number 740 out of 1,000. It is a limited edition. Let's see if you can see that. So, without faces, we are free. The masked killer wages an unrelenting spree of murder, cannibalism, and necrophilia. But when his tortured past comes to haunt him, he plunges to even greater depths of madness and depravity, consuming the life of a young woman and those who she holds dear. This definitely has audio commentary, and it is directed by Scott Shermer in 2015. So there we have it, Headless. It is signed. I love the fact that I have all these limited editions. So I have two different copies of this, what is called the Headsick Experiments, hardcore Headsick Experiments, and I believe this is the same thing. These are snuff porn, same film, special edition, and the film, Headsick Films by Alfred Hitchcock. Alfred Hitchcock, that is the director. So here on the inside, I have an insert of some sort. On the back of this one, It says a definitive collection of Headsick pinups, the original horror pinup site. This disc includes the Headsick feature film, feature-length documentary, random behind-the-scenes videos, and more. So that's the special edition. And then this particular edition here says it's the Hardcore Headsick Experiment. Warning, disclaimer before viewing. Alfred Hitchcock has indeed signed this copy. And the film stars Clorin Madison, Violet Zoe Matthews with Jew Unit, and Dane Cross. On the back here, it says, all scenes in this production depict explicit sexual content, including but not limited to male on female and female on female contact, with oral, vaginal, and anal penetration, as well as simulated gore and bodily harm. A scene also contains urinating on another human being. If you are offended or feel you may be offended by viewing such content, then do not view this production. So, there you have it. The Hardcore Headsick Experiment. So I believe those are one and the same. It's just one is more violent, supposedly. So this is the next film that I'm going to talk to you about is Todd Sheets' film. This is the film that I noticed that was being shared around in groups or whatnot at the time. And it's called The House of Forbidden Secrets. So shocking, do you dare see it? And I went and bought a copy, and it took forever to get here. But he sent me a copy of the double disc that he prints out himself, and I have watched it. And he told me something privately that evidently, right before this, he had actually had a heart attack at a very young age. And this was his comeback film. And I see here on the back that looks like he worked a little bit with Gator Blade Films on this, Beat Records Company, and so on and so forth. And there are a ton of film laurels on the back here. It's hard to read all of them. Alamo Drafthouse in 2014, Scream in the Dark from 2014, Shock Stock, Tampa Picture Show, LA Independent Film Alliance, VHS Best. So there are a lot of laurels on this. So it won a lot of things, or at least was officially selected for a lot of things. So welcome to Shadowview Manor. The evil that men do lives on and on. The tenants hear things at night. Some claim to see strange shadows and people. Jacob Hunch is about to learn that nights around the Shadowview Manor are anything but normal. There are some very dark secrets lurking in the manor. A twisted past that is breaking through the boundaries of time, leaking into this dimension. Jacob's first night on the job is also the anniversary of the sinister tragedy that has stained the building. An ancient evil that will finally break down the veil between the worlds and unleash an evil curse that will destroy everyone in the building if it's not stopped. Cult horror director Todd Sheets returns to the genre with an ambitious, shocking film that is sure to please fans of horror everywhere. House of Forbidden Secrets is a standout of the genre, bringing fresh ideas to the haunted house formula. Featuring an amazing musical soundtrack from Italian maestro Fabio Frizzi, famous for his work from the acclaimed Japanese composer Toshiyuki Hiroyoka, with an all-star horror icon cast including Lou Temple from The Walking Dead, Devil's Rejects, Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning, George Hardy from Troll 2, Alan Kaiser from Night of the Creeps, Diane Thorne from Ilsa She-Wolf of the SS, Ari Lehman from Friday the 13th, Howard Moyer from Ilsa the Wicked Warden, and Lloyd Kaufman. So there are definitely quite a few um, legendary horror actors in here. And I relatively enjoyed the cast and crew of this. There were definitely some decent shots of some gore, and I thoroughly enjoyed this film when I saw it. So it's not that it had a low budget. It was pretty straight. At least for me, I was in a good mood when I saw it. So, in any case, that film has actually been picked up by Unearthed since then, and I do not have that particular copy. But around the same time, Dreaming Purple Neon was coming out, and I do have a copy of that, which I'll show in a different video collection, unless it's in these stacks or whatnot. So, next, I have from Stephen Chow, director of Kung Fu Hustle, is Journey to the West, Conquering the Demons. Said to be a bona fide masterpiece and spectacular by the rap and variety. It's time to kick some legendary tail. So, in a world plagued by demons who cause great human suffering, young demon hunter Wan Zhang risks his all to conquer a water demon, a pig demon, and the demon of all demons, Sun Wukong. Adhering to his firm belief in giving of oneself for the greater cause, he embraces the demons as his disciples. However, in order to atone for their own sins and save the common people, the four of them must embark on a journey to the West that's full of challenges. One of Hong Kong's most popular actor directors ever, Stephen Chow is back in the office, storming form. In box office, storming form. So, this was put out by Magnet Entertainment, and this should be a wild, crazy ride if I eventually get around to it. I do need to, although, find the other films that are after this and connected to it. So, in any case, now I'll stick these down here where these are. All right, so this is a full moon feature. It is directed by Victoria Sloan, and it is called Shrieker. Here is the name of or what it looks like. If you hear it, it's too late. It strikes without warning. It can morph through walls, ceilings, floors. There is no place to hide. Behind every corner lies a potential doorway to death. After 50 years, the Shrieker has been summoned again. 5 will die tonight. The 6th will become its master. When you hear the sound of its voice, your time has come. So there we have it, Shrieker. And I have not watched this yet, so, but I'm sure it is up Full Moon's alley and has full moon special effects. Okay, so this film is from Sawmill Entertainment Corporation. It is directed by Christopher Coppola. And it's got William Forsythe, Tate Donovan, and it's called Michael Alfred's GMen from Hell. Looks like it's in a voice that is equal parts Holden Caulfield and Kurt Cobain. Mr. Alfred's perverse affection for disposable culture of earlier decades is camp pleasure. That's from Mark Derry at the New York Times. So, this two tough federal agents, Mike Mattress, played by Tate Donovan, and Dean Krept, played by William Forsythe, are murdered and sent to hell. They escape and come back to Earth as detectives, hoping to do good deeds to earn their way to heaven. Their first client is a blonde bombshell, played by Vanessa Angel, whose wealthy husband, Barry Newman, ends up dead. Mattress and Krept are now prime suspects and must stay one step ahead of both the police, Gary Busey and Zach Galligan, and the devil himself, played by Robert Goulet, who has come to Earth in hot pursuit of their souls. It is based on the comic created by Michael Alfred and published by Dark Horse Comics. So, there we have it. G-Men from Hell. I have not watched this, but it looks hilarious. So this is supposedly a short film. It is called Jason versus Leatherface. And I'm assuming that this is something that everyone has always wanted to happen. So, says it's directed and produced by Frank Palangi. According to this, it says Jason versus Leatherface is truly a great horror film. Palangi Studios at its best. Eric A. Anarchy from Demons Magazine. So, yep. Definitely a shorter feature. Okay, so this is a family film that I picked up. It stars Stephen Kurt, Maxwell Mayer, Luna Payano, and Peter Hottinger, and it's called Adventures at the Chocolate Factory. It is a Blu-ray DVD combo with a digital copy, and I picked this up at Walmart. Let's see if you can see it. At first, I thought this was based on the Chocolate Wars, but this film is directed by Manuel Florin Henry, and this is what it's about. Oh, and it from SP Releasing and Irie Media International. Put out by Echo Bridge Entertainment, which I believe is another spin-off of Mill Creek, or similar to Mill Creek, because there's been a lot of like multi-packs and whatnot, and I think it's just a spin-off of Mill Creek. When their mom goes away for the weekend, the kids are left home with Dad, who plans a family trip to the circus. Plans fall apart when Dad gets called into work overtime at the chocolate factory to stop a chocolate explosion. Meanwhile, the kids are left unsupervised and mayhem ensues when they get into a feud with the nasty kids next door. So, there we go with Adventures at the Chocolate Factory. And it kind of looks like the car from Flubber, but I know it's not Flubber. Or Son of Flubber, for that matter, but it looks fun. Or should be. But I believe it's from another language and it's dubbed. So, this is from Necrostorm, the company Necrostorm, and it is a collector's edition of Infidus. This film is directed by Guillo DeSante, and it is a snuff film of sorts. And according to this, it says, revenge isn't fair, and blood follows blood in the suburbs of Rome. Two desperate lives with only desire for vengeance and redemption in common find their destinies intertwined with Massimo's mind and is plagued with images of his wife's violent death at the hands of a criminal gang involved in the production of snuff films, with every memory of the woman he loved replaced by unforgettable images of her horrific final moments. Massimo sees only one chance to take back his life. Find the wealthy individual who commissioned the sickening murder and make them pay. Barabba, a recently released convict, hopes to keep a promise he made to his father and start a new life with his brother, Spatio, far from the violent world that they used to inhabit. Discovering that his brother is involved in the snuff gang, Barabba seeks to change things the only way he knows how, through violence and bloodshed. shot with real ex-criminals and deprive people from the streets. Infidus is a drama. Short drama, shout, redemption, and revenge that will show you the reality of the Italian criminal underworld, ramming sweat, tears, and real blood down your throat with a wet single drop spared. So, starring Mino Bonini, Massimo Caratelli, Stephanie Boni, Domenico Fannati, Andrea Despirito, Maurizio Zaffiro, Walter Montano, Cristiano Mazzacane, Adrian Begas, Simone Paternosto, Roberto Abesciello, Manolo Di Rico, Rocco Domenico Del Trepo, Stephanie Cartelli, Christian Riva, Wilmar Zamosa, Ortega Santiago. So those are all people that are supposedly in this film. So, in any case, looks like it might be fairly decent on the gore. So this is another film from that cultaction.com place. And this is a film from Thailand from 1989. It was written, produced, and directed by Rutar Rotar. And it's called Jinsang King. Look at that cool cover. In an enchanted forest, the Jinsang King, a 1,000-year-old peace-loving wood demon, is kidnapped by emissaries of an evil three-headed monster. A young boy living in the forest witnesses the act. Then his mother is bitten by Nazi zombie. The boy consults an ancient sorcerer who leads him into an underground cavern where he meets a beautiful barbarian queen. The battle between the forces of good and evil is about to begin. A jaw-dropping, bizarre, and psychological fantasy horror film, filled with enough weirdness to make your head spin. So, there we have it, Jinsang King, and it looks kind of cool. So, I know I have all these like gore film gore short film anthologies that Jan Chaos has significantly searched internationally for all these like cool short films, including some of his own. And this is the Gore Short Film Anthology Part 6. It says A Matter of Life and Death on it. And his company is called DIY Productions. And on this particular anthology, it has Necroplasmosis from the USA, Video Overkill from France, Kitsune from Canada, Guts Outside 2 from Russia, Freaky from Canada, Dead Bait from Norway, Don't Forget the Red Pill from the USA, and Reign of Emptiness from Canada. Also, there is a bonus music video from Finland called Dependentium Nartu Acetiscopia. So, there we have it. And then the back. I don't know if you can see some of it. Some of them have covers. So, yeah. Should be interesting down the road. Then I have a copy of Invalid, which was directed by Dustin Wade Mills. And This is signed. A new, his evidently company is called Blood Sprayer Productions, and it says it works with DMP Production. So, a new psychosexual thriller fashioned after the Italian horror films of yesteryear. Invalid is the story of a woman, Agnes, played by Durian, who is tasked with caring for her vegetative brother, Andrew, played by Brandon Salkill. Things get strange when Agnes begins to hear her brother's voice in her head, and he demands blood. It's Maniac meets Psycho meets Patrick with camera work and lighting inspired by the Italian greats like Bava, Fucci, and Argento. Sleaze, art, and emotion collide in Invalid. 72 minutes long. This is Invalid. So, yep, and it is signed by Dustin Wade Mills. So this was part of a production that put together a documentary on Hammer Horror's Warner Brother years, and unfortunately they were only putting it on Blu-ray, not DVD. But I still went in on the project, and I am glad that I did. It turned out to be phenomenal. I mean, they cut a few things from it, but they were definitely able to put together a decent documentary involving some of the very cool people, and it was written and directed by Marcus Heron, put out by Diabolic Films, and I was fairly entertained by this documentary. I was looking forward to it. Glad I was able to get in on the project and get my name in the back of it and whatnot. So, in any case, this is the Korean copy of The Scarlet Letter, which stars Demi Moore, Gary Oldman, and Robert Duvall in it. So, it is directed by Roland Joff. And as we know, the Scarlet Letter is basically based on a woman who supposedly is suspected to have had sex out of wedlock, and she is embroidered and scorned with the Scarlet Letter, and it predates the Salem witch trials. But it comes at a time when people just didn't really have much respect for a woman who had so publicly had a relationship with someone, and she was branded this letter and branded so that all would know. So anyone who came upon her would know that she was this sinful woman. So, that being said, I am moving on. I thought it was cool to find it with the Koreans, since I've come across some decent copies on that Korea has put on out. And here I have one more that I'm going to talk about. It's called Exorcist House of Evil, and this was put out by Tomcat Films with MVD Visual and Ginger Productions with Woodlake Entertainment and Spiritus Mundi. Let me read the back here. Based on a true story, shot in the real Exorcist house. A young woman returns to her old family, the site of an infamous exorcism, and discovers the devil never left. This film was shot in the real Exorcist house, and during filming, captured both audible and visual paranormal activity, which has been left in the film, giving those who dare to watch a unique look into one of the most infamous homes in America and possibly exposing them to the devil still lurking within. So the film is written and directed by David Trotti, and it should definitely be a unique thing. The thing about this is that there seem to be a lot of similar film titles, and the way some of these covers look. And I have a ton of covers that look alike, and I'd love to get together a video down the road of some similar films that look exactly like this cover. So, in any case, I'm going to end this video conversation on that note, and hopefully you enjoyed my my talk about these films and what I know of them. While I mean, if I have watched them, I will tell you, and I will tell you my opinion. Um, Oftentimes, I will have a story about where I got them, and maybe quite possibly a story of why I picked it up or whatnot, or why I might think something is cool. So, in any case, thank you for listening. Have a great day, evening, and morning, wherever you are. Appreciate your time spent on my page. Look out for some more cool videos of what I've been collecting. So, thank you so much.
You were good, kid, real good. But as long as I'm around, you'll always be second best, see?